Attention, the following broadcast has been approved by Outcasted OC. Viewer discretion is advised. Incoming transmission in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello everybody, so if you don't know my face, I am Unicorn Goth from the Outcasted OC podcast. If you do not follow us, so hit that subscribe button for us, please. We would greatly appreciate it. So I am here today to talk about the SmackDown from last night. We are going to review it, talk about the draft picks, and yeah, let's go. So the show opened with Triple H coming out with the first draft pool. We have 4 picks, which is the first 4 picks for the draft. And it starts with SmackDown picking Paul Heyman, Solo Sikoa, and Roman Reigns as a trio. They take those 3. Next, we have Raw picks Cody Rhodes. Kind of saw that one come in as well. The next one was a little bit confusing for me. So SmackDown picked the Raw Women's Champion, Bianca Belair. I was really confused by this because obviously she's holding the Raw Women's Championship. But does that mean that Rhea and the Judgment Day are going to be drafted to Raw? And that there's going to be some kind of belt swap? I'm not sure how that one will go. And then finally, for the first draft pool, Becky Lynch was picked by Raw, and she will be staying on Raw. So I kind of guess at this point that Seth will probably also be drafted to Raw, because they kind of stay together, don't they? Okay, so the next part then, after that, the Usos came out and they were doing a little promo about how they're going to be like 9 times tag champions and they're going to win the belts back from Kevin and Sami. And they were like, because you're the twos and we the ones. And then they got rudely interrupted by Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, who then come out, and Sami's having a little bit of a hit at the Usos about how they haven't heard from Roman Reigns since WrestleMania and how he's kind of like not spoke to them since they've lost the tag belts, etc, etc. But then they have a little bit of a back and forth about who's going to win the tag team title match later on in the evening on Raw. But yeah, that was it. That was a good segment. So then after that little segment there, we had a match between Butch, Pete Dunne and LA Knight. The match was fantastic. Both talented people that put on a great match. There was great spots. Yeah, there's not much to say other than that it was a fantastic match. LA Knight is so over with the crowd. It is incredible. I feel like LA Knight needs to move from those just matches to either the mid-card. Maybe a potential Money in the Bank win coming from LA Knight. I would be okay with that. But I definitely feel like LA Knight needs to move to some kind of title like frame picture. Okay, then it cuts to a backstage segment of Paul Heyman, the Usos and Solo, and Paul Heyman's talking about how the Usos are definitely going to get drafted tonight. Like it's going to happen. They're going to be drafted to SmackDown, blah blah blah. And yeah, that was just a little bit of a backstage segment. Okay, and then we had draft pool 2, the next 4 picks. We were greeted by Rob Van Dam and Michael Hayes to announce the second pool of the draft picks. So to start it off, we had SmackDown picked the Street Profits, Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins. I actually thought that they might split them during this draft, but that didn't seem to happen, which is okay. I love the Street Profits. I just feel like Montez Ford is much more higher up there than Angelo Dawkins. I feel like he needs to move from the tag team to a solo, but there's still time for that to come. I'm happy for the Street Profits. So the next pick was Raw picked Imperium. So yeah, the whole of Imperium, including Gunther and the IC title, are moving to Raw. So I guess that could only mean that maybe Austin Theory and the United States Championship may be moving to SmackDown. If not, I'm not sure what they'll do. Will they have 2 mid-cards on one show? Possibly. I'm not sure. But yeah, I'm super happy for Gunther and that to be going to Raw. It's super awesome. So the next SmackDown picked the R-rated superstar Edge. That was pretty awesome. I'm not sure how I feel about Edge being drafted though, because he's due to retire like August this year, I believe. So I feel like he could have just been a floater between the 2 brands and somebody else could have been picked. But that's just my opinion. But yeah, I'm still happy for him nonetheless. And then finally in the draft pool 2, we had Raw picked original bro Matt Riddle. So yeah, that was that one. Okay, so after the draft pool 2, we moved on to a triple tag match, which was the Street Profits. The Street Profits came out in blue to represent their recently drafted to SmackDown, which was really cool, versus Braun and Ricochet and LWO, which was Cruz del Toro and I can't remember the other guy's name. I'm so bad with pronouncing their names, it's ridiculous. Please do not hate on me. The match was fantastic. There was loads of good spots, loads of high flying spots. You know, we've got Ricochet and Dawkins, the LWO. They're always up on the ropes doing high flying spots, and it was such a really good match to watch. 6 great people doing 6 great things, yeah. Braun being Braun did the train round the ring, knocked every single one of them out as he went round, which was pretty cool. And as he got round to the ramp bit, Dawkins did a fly over the rope, and it's really strange to see Dawkins doing the high flying spots. He's not a high flying man. It's usually Montez Ford that does that, so that was really cool. And then after Dawkins went over, Ricochet literally went over the ropes at Dawkins. It was really cool to watch. It was such a good spot in the whole thing. But yeah, that was really cool. And the Street Profits won, as expected. I expected them to win, to be fair, as they were recently drafted to SmackDown. It's going to be good. Okay, then next we had the draft pool 3, the next 4 superstars being drafted. We were greeted by JBL and Teddy Long to announce these draft picks. So first we started off with SmackDown chose the almighty Bobby Lashley, which is really cool to see him swap brand. Hopefully he'll have some new opponents and some new things going on. Could we see Bobby Lashley versus Roman in the future? Who knows? But yeah. Then the next pick was Raw chose Drew McIntyre. That is really cool and really awesome. It's nice to see him switch back over to the other brand. And then next, SmackDown picked the OC. So yeah, the whole 4 members of the OC, Mitchell, Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson and AJ Styles are all moving down to SmackDown, which is really cool. And finally, Raw chose The Miz. The Miz is going to remain on Raw. Next up, we went straight into a match. So we had Zelina Vega versus Sonya. Zelina was wearing really awesome gear and her hair was so cool. It was a reference to Rengoku from Demon Slayer. If you don't watch Demon Slayer, it is an anime. And we all know how big Zelina Vega is into her anime. I actually love Demon Slayer. I think it's so cool. And it's nice to see the wrestlers repping certain things in their gear. I really love that. But anyway, Chelsea Green was ringside. They had a good match. It was a short match. The women's matches are always really short, which is really disappointing, but it was a short match, but it was really good. Zelina Vega won with a roll-up, taking out Sonya Deville. But after the match, Rhea came in and drop-kicked Zelina Vega and took out Sonya Deville. Rhea and Zelina Vega are having a match next weekend at Backlash, if you did not know. That is probably why she attacked Zelina Vega, just to be like, yeah, I'm going to win next week. Keep that storyline going. Rhea then goes in for a Riptide on Zelina Vega, who then converts it into a DDT on Rhea and rolls out and runs off. Okay, next after the women's segment, the OC come out with a returning AJ Styles. AJ Styles is back. Now, y'all know, if you've been watching my TikToks, you know I'm not a really big AJ Styles fan, but it's nice to see him back. It's nice to see him looking fresh and well and recovered from whatever injury it was that he had. So they come out, they do a little promo about being drafted to SmackDown, which was really cool. And then the Viking Raiders come out and kind of are like, let's go. And the OC are like, nah, not today. And they kind of beat them up in seconds, and then they're walking off. And as they walk off, AJ Styles kind of takes his coat off outside the ring, does a big flipper. He does his phenomenal 4 over the ring at Ivor, and he's ready, back in action kind of thing. And he's like, SmackDown, we've only just begun. So that was really cool. It was really cool to see the OC back with AJ Styles. So then we had the draft pool 4, the final 4 that were being drafted tonight. And I tell you now, this was probably the best 4 picks of the entire night. So we were greeted by Shawn Michaels, HBK and Road Dogg. NXT guys, I knew as soon as Shawn Michaels were coming out that we were getting NXT call-ups here. I was like, he has to be the one to announce the NXT call-ups. And we were very surprisingly greeted with some NXT call-ups. So, the first pick for SmackDown was Damage Control. So Damage Control, Bayley, Io and Dakota are all going down to SmackDown. I feel like Michael Cole is overly thrilled with this. He gets Bayley back with him. Of course this is going to be great. Bayley and Michael Cole banter is the best thing going. So then the second pick on this pool was Raw picked Shinsuke Nakamura. Ross was so freaking excited about this. There is a few clips on my TikTok if you'd like to go and watch them. Honestly, he was over the moon. So then we had the NXT call-up. So SmackDown chose NXT Women's Champion, Tag Champions, Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. So Alba Fire and Isla Dawn are being moved up to SmackDown. That is hype, so dope. And my favourite draft pick of the entire night, Raw picked SmackDown Women's Champion Indy Hartwell. Oh my god, my girl is coming up to Raw. I am so hyped, so excited for her. I literally cried. I cannot tell you how much I'm holding my tears back now. I literally cried. I might insert a little picture of me here crying, but honestly, I am so freaking excited. I was like, Indy's not going to get drafted. Indy's not going to get drafted. She's the champion. She can't just go. And hell did they surprise me. I am so excited for everything she's going to do on main roster because she has worked hard and she deserves it. Okay, so after that final draft pool, we went backstage. Well, it was to the NXT Performance Centre because that's where all the NXT talent was sat watching it. And it cut to somebody talking to Isla and Alba about their draft, them being drafted up to SmackDown. And they were rudely interrupted by Katana Chase and Caden Carter about them not taking, they were like, you're not taking them tag belts with you. We challenge you to a match Tuesday night on NXT. So we have the NXT women's tag titles up for taking on Tuesday night, which is really cool as well. It then moves on to the SmackDown backstage where we see Kayla. She's going to have a conversation with Shinsuke, but before Shinsuke even gets to say a word, he is attacked by Karrion Kross. Who kind of knocks him to the floor and kind of just stares over him with Scarlett. And can we note how beautiful Scarlett looks all the time? And then finally we had our main title, the Undisputed Tag Champions match of the Usos versus Kevin and Sami. It was a great match. We know how talented all four of these wrestlers are. They never fail to put on a good match. Great spots. Great match as always. It was a rematch from the WrestleMania where the Usos lost their belts and now Kevin and Sami are the champions. There was a point where I actually thought the Usos might win this match. Closer to the end of the match, the Usos were literally going in on Kevin and Sami was passed out ringside and I was like, no, not already, please no. And then it cuts to a picture-in-picture where you see Paul Heyman tell Solo that it's his night and he kind of sends Solo to the ring. But as Solo gets to the entrance bit, he is rudely attacked by Matt Riddle, who pushes him down the side into the crowd, obviously because he lost last week. And then as the Usos went to pin Kevin, Sami pulled Jay out of the ring and pushed him away. Kevin Owens then managed to get up and stun a Jimmy as Sami got into the ring to Halloumi kick Jimmy, who then got pinned by Sami Zayn, leaving Kevin and Sami winners. And Solo is just watching from the crowd where he was pushed by Matt Riddle, kind of I'm really annoyed that the Usos lost. But yeah, overall, SmackDown was a great show and you should definitely go check out the draft pools. Definitely go check it out. I have posted reaction videos on my TikTok, unicorngoth_. Courtney from the Outcasted OC has also posted reaction videos to the draft on her TikTok, which is Courtney_Coburn. I believe Reese is also posting some reactions later, but yeah, it's in the descriptions. All our socials are in the descriptions, so hit that subscribe button, go follow the gang, and make sure you tune in for the next episode. We'll catch you soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.